we are joined by Dr. Yasser Massoud, who is a foreign affairs expert, joining us from Beijing. He's going to be discussing the U.S. President Donald Trump's remarks on Iran's proposed plan and rising regional tensions. First and foremost, Dr. Massoud, thank you so much for speaking to Pakistan TV. Now, I just want to get into the gist of it. How are we seeing, rather, how will the United States President Donald Trump's skepticism towards Iran proposed plan really affect the prospects of the renewed negotiations?
Well, thank you for having me. And I think it's definitely will have its implications not only on the peace process, but on the region and even beyond. Because as we know, that it was a good ray of hope, and all credit goes to Pakistan for its outstanding efforts of diplomacy, that at least first it managed to broker a ceasefire and then hosted the first talk in Islamabad and still trying its best. The back channel diplomacy isn't dead. But at the moment, what we see is that United States of America is trying to exert more pressure on Iran. Simply for the matter of fact, the way my reading is that probably Iran has come up with renewed negotiation plans. And I think somewhere in the think tanks of America, especially from the CENTCOM, they perceive it as a weakness of Iran. And I think, as Donald Trump mentioned, that Iran didn't give a good price, which clearly signals that President Donald Trump wants to exert more pressure. So it's called the coercive diplomacy, not a good term in terms of when the conflict has its horrendous implications on the energy security, on the food security as well, if it lingers on, and as well as on the trade disruptions around the world. This region of Asia and Southeast Asia or South Asia or West Asia will definitely suffer from if it carries on or if it renews again.
Absolutely. So Dr. Massoud, just understanding this in terms of the security implications, what would be the potential regional and security implications of a possible renewed U.S. military strike on Iran, as we have been warned by President Donald Trump?
It needs to be understood, especially for your viewers as well, that actually it was a direct or indirect confrontation between three parties, actually: United States of America, Israel, and Iran. And then it's a decentralized system of Iran through which Iran has actually prevailed the conflict. I think I would appreciate in terms of Iranians' policy that Iran has taken air out of the storm by creating an energy security issue and disrupted the global supply chains. This is part of the calculation. And by holding strong to the Strait of Hormuz is also the part of calculation. But right now, what is happening between both parties is that Iran, as a matter of fact, the way Iran has showed its resilience, it clearly indicates that Iran has won the war. On the other side, President Donald Trump is not in that position that he can show a sort of weakness or defeat in front of its public. So on both sides, if Iran thinks that it has won the war, Iran also wants to win the war on the table so that it goes to its own public, as a matter of strength, not as a matter of weakness. That is the reason both sides are exerting immense pressure so that they can clinch the best deal, which is favorable for their political life and also favorable for the public as well.
Thank you so much for providing us with your expertise and your valuable insights. It's always a pleasure to be learning from you. Viewers, this was Dr. Yasser Massoud, foreign affairs expert.